Stop for a moment and breathe because your life depends on it. Before you think about what you're going to wear, where you will be when the clock strikes midnight, or how many people you will celebrate with, ask yourself one question. Is your soul ready for what is coming? If you want this year to be different, if you want to stop feeling like a leaf blown by the wind of anxiety, you must take action now. Connect with what truly matters. Connect with your higher self, with God, with your guardian angel or your guru. Call it whatever you want, but find that being that brings you back to reality, the one you can count on 24/7, in joy or in sorrow. This is not about religion, it is about survival. It is about the most powerful tool ever given to humanity. Prayer. Many people think prayer is a chore, a set of memorized words, or a performance in a temple. They are wrong. Prayer is the bridge between your racing mind and the eternal silence of the divine. It is the conversation you have in the back of a bus, the silent plea in the middle of a traffic jam, the whispered gratitude in the dark of your bedroom. It doesn't require fancy words or a specific posture. It requires your heart. When you speak from the depths of your soul, you aren't just sending words into the void. You are aligning your frequency with the source of all peace. Consider the weight of the modern world. We live in an era of digital noise where depression and anxiety have become the plagues of the century. We are constantly bombarded by information, expectations, and the fear of missing out. Our minds are like overheated engines, sparking and smoking under the pressure. This noise isn't just external, it vibrates within our cells, disrupting our sleep, our relationships, and our sense of purpose. We have become experts at surviving, but we have forgotten how to live in the grace of the present moment. Now imagine a man named Thomas. Thomas was a high-level executive in London, living a life that many would envy. The car, the house, the status. But inside, Thomas was crumbling. His heart would race for no reason at 3 a.m. He felt a constant knot in his chest that no medicine could untie. He had forgotten how to be still. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Thomas found himself sitting on a park bench, unable to even walk to his car. He didn't know how to pray. He wasn't a religious man. But in his desperation, he simply closed his eyes and thought, "Whoever is listening, I can't do this anymore. Please hold me." He didn't see a light from the sky. He didn't hear a booming voice. What he felt was a subtle shift in the atmosphere around him. A warmth started at the top of his head and moved down to his toes. For the first time in 3 years, the knot in his chest loosened. He stayed there for an hour, not asking for money or success, but simply acknowledging a presence greater than himself. This was his first prayer. It was raw, it was messy, and it was the most honest thing he had ever done. Thomas realized that prayer is not about changing God, it is about changing the person who prays. It is the act of surrendering the illusion of control. We often believe that if we work harder, plan better, or worry more, we can dictate the outcomes of our lives. But this is the root of our suffering. When Thomas sat on that bench, he surrendered. He handed over the heavy luggage of his expectations to a force he couldn't see but finally chose to feel. This surrender is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate act of courage. It is admitting that while we are small, we are connected to something infinite. When we pray, we are practicing the ultimate form of mindfulness. We are telling our ego to step aside so that our spirit can breathe. Think of the Great Depression in the 1930s. There are countless stories of families who had lost everything, their farms, their savings, their dignity. Yet, historians often note the resilience of these communities. Why didn't they all give up? In diaries found decades later, a common thread appears: the prayer circle. Families would sit together, not to complain about their lack of food, but to give thanks for the strength to endure another day. They imagined a protection, an embrace, a lap to rest their weary heads. This mental connection to the high above acted as a psychological shield against the crushing weight of their reality. Nothing on the exterior changed immediately, but their interior world became a fortress. This fortress is built brick by brick, prayer by prayer. Every time you turn your thoughts toward the divine, you are reinforcing the walls of your soul. You are creating a space where the storms of the world cannot reach you. This is why the location doesn't matter. Whether you are in a quiet cathedral or the middle of a riot, that internal sanctuary is always accessible. It is the closet mentioned in ancient texts, not a physical room, but the private chamber of your heart where you meet your Creator face to face. Scientific studies have begun to catch up with what spiritual traditions have known for millennia. When a person enters a state of deep prayer or meditation, the frontal lobes of the brain, the area associated with focus and calm, light up. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for the fight or flight response, begins to settle. Prayer literally rewires your brain to handle stress. It lowers cortisol levels. It helps combat the physiological effects of anxiety. It is the best medicine for the modern soul, and it is completely free. But the science is only the surface. Beneath the biological changes lies a spiritual transformation. Let's talk about Sarah, a young mother who struggled with postpartum depression. She felt as though she were drowning in a sea of grey. She felt guilty for not being happy enough. One day her grandmother told her, "Sarah, stop trying to fight the waves, just talk to the ocean." Sarah started a habit. Every time she felt a wave of panic rising, she would stop and say, "Peace, be still." She would imagine her guardian angel standing behind her, hands on her shoulders. She didn't use a prayer book. She used her imagination to build a sanctuary. Within weeks, the grey began to lift. She found that the more she prayed, the calmer her mind became. Her home, once filled with tension, became a place of blessings. Sarah's story teaches us that prayer is a conversation. It is a dialogue between the finite and the infinite. It is not just about talking, it is about listening. In the silence that follows a prayer, answers often arrive not as voices but as feelings, coincidences, or a sudden sense of clarity. When you speak from your soul, you clear the static from the line. You become a vessel for a higher wisdom that knows exactly what you need even before you ask for it. You might be sitting in a train right now, surrounded by strangers, feeling deeply alone. You might be at home, staring at bills you cannot pay, or perhaps you are grieving a loss that feels too heavy to carry. The world tells you to work harder, to buy more, to distract yourself. But the truth is, the more you look outward for peace, the more elusive it becomes. The peace you seek is an inside job, and prayer is the key to the door. Think about the silence of a winter forest. Even when everything looks dead on the surface, there is life deep within the roots preparing for the spring. Your soul is the same. Even when you feel empty, even when you feel like you have nothing left to give, the act of prayer reaches down into those roots. It nourishes the hidden parts of your being. It reminds you that seasons change, but the ground you stand on is eternal. Consider the example of Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who survived the concentration camps. He observed that those who could find a sense of meaning, those who could connect with something beyond their immediate suffering, were the ones most likely to survive. Many of them did this through prayer. They didn't pray for the guards to disappear or for the war to end instantly. They prayed for the strength to remain human in an inhuman environment. They prayed for the ability to forgive, to keep their inner light burning. This is the true power of prayer. It doesn't necessarily change the circumstance, but it changes your relationship to it. It makes you unshakable. Nothing on the exterior matters. It doesn't matter if you are wearing silk or rags. It doesn't matter if you are in a palace or a prison. What matters is the direction of your gaze. Are you looking at the problem, or are you looking at the source? When you look at the source, the problem begins to shrink. It doesn't disappear, but it loses its power to terrify you. You begin to see it as a challenge to be met, a lesson to be learned, rather than a monster to be feared. As you start this year, make a pact with yourself. Before you check your phone in the morning, pray. This is the most critical time of the day. Your mind is a blank slate when you first wake up. If you fill it with the news, social media, or the stress of your to-do list, you are setting a foundation of chaos. But if you start with a simple prayer of gratitude, thank you for this breath, thank you for this life, you are setting a foundation of peace. You are claiming your day before the world can take it from you. In the silence of your room or the chaos of your commute, reach out, speak from your soul. Tell the universe your fears, your hopes, and your gratitude. Don't worry about being good at it. There is no such thing as a bad prayer if it comes from a sincere heart. Speak from your heart, from the depths of your soul. It is the vibration of sincerity that reaches God. Imagine a world where everyone took 5 minutes to connect with God before starting their day. Imagine the decrease in road rage, the increase in patience, the softening of hard hearts. It starts with you. It starts with your decision to enter into connection with your higher self. You are a lighthouse. When you are at peace, you illuminate the path for everyone around you. Your calm mind becomes a gift to your family, your co-workers, and your community. Blessings are not always material things. Often, the greatest blessing is a mind that is at peace in the middle of a storm. When you pray, you are inviting those blessings into your home. You are clearing the path for miracles to occur. You are saying, I am ready to be guided. This guidance might come as a sudden urge to call an old friend, a new idea for your work, or simply the strength to say no to something that drains your energy. The power of prayer is also the power of imagination. When you pray, imagine the protection. Imagine a cloak of light around your shoulders. Imagine a great loving presence holding your hands. This isn't make-believe. This is using the creative power of your mind to manifest a spiritual reality. The more you imagine this protection, the more real it becomes in your experience. You will find yourself walking through the world with a new sense of security. You will stop looking over your shoulder. You will start looking ahead with hope. Think of the monks who spend their lives in prayer. They aren't escaping the world. They are holding the world in their hearts. They understand that the collective consciousness of humanity is influenced by the prayers of the individuals. Your individual prayer contributes to the global reservoir of peace. Every time you choose calm over anxiety, every time you choose trust over fear, you are helping to heal the world. As the months of this year go by, you will face trials. There will be days when you feel like your prayers aren't being heard. But remember that the silence of God is not an absence of God. Sometimes the most profound answers are found in the waiting. In the waiting, your faith is strengthened. In the waiting, your character is forged. Keep praying, keep talking, keep listening. Connect mente con mente. Think of the being you believe in. Feel the embrace. Nothing from the outside can touch that. Anxiety is a thief that lives in the future, and depression is a weight that lives in the past. Prayer brings you back to the now. It is the anchor that keeps your ship from drifting into dangerous waters. When you pray for your home, you are creating a sanctuary. Your walls begin to soak up the energy of your devotion. Your children, your partner, even your pets will feel the shift. A home where prayer is a constant is a home where love can flourish. It becomes a place where you can truly rest, truly be yourself. Let us consider the story of Elena, a woman who lost her business during a global crisis. She was devastated. She felt like a failure. But instead of spiraling into darkness, she decided to pray for others who were in the same boat. Every night she would visualize all the small business owners in her city, wishing them strength and new opportunities. In doing so, she forgot her own misery. She found a new purpose. Within a few months, a completely different door opened for her, one she had never even considered. Her prayer for others had cleared the blockages in her own life. This is the law of spiritual circulation. What you give in prayer, you receive in grace. Don't wait for a crisis to start praying. Don't wait until you are at the end of your rope. Build the connection now while the sun is shining. If you have a strong connection when things are good, you will have an unbreakable lifeline when things get tough. Prayer is the practice of being in the presence of the divine. It is the highest form of intimacy. As we conclude this journey together, remember that your life is a sacred gift. You are not a random accident in a cold universe. You are a beloved creation of a source that wants you to be at peace. You are equipped with everything you need to navigate the complexities of this existence. All you have to do is reach out. May your path be lit by the inner light that only prayer can ignite. May your heart find the lap it has been searching for, and may your home be a sanctuary of peace and love. Start this year in the arms of the divine, and you will see that nothing can shake the soul that knows how to talk to its creator. The silence you find in prayer is the sound of your own soul coming home. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding. It is the truth that will set you free. Close your eyes one last time. Feel the breath in your lungs. Feel the heartbeat in your chest. That is the divine talking to you. Now, it's your turn to talk back. Start the conversation. Keep it going. Never let go of the hand that is always reaching for yours. In this connection, you will find your strength, your joy, and your ultimate calm. This year is yours, not because of what happens to you, but because of who you are becoming in the light of your connection to the high above. Be blessed, be calm, and be at peace. If you love this story and want to hear more like it, please hit that subscribe button. It truly means the world to us and helps us grow. And hey, while you're at it, let's aim for 50 likes on this video. Help us smash that goal.